Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And today we're back in our normal format. Last week, again, Brad was celebrating little Titus and her graduation.
So little Fillmore.
Little Fillmore.
She's not sure.
She's not Titus.
Yeah.
So, and her graduation. So, congrats on that.
Smarter than I am.
And so we had Rick sit in. Thanks, Rick, for sitting in, watching the pay-per-view with us. It was fun to watch him go like something would happen in wrestling, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I can imagine.
Because he kept pointing out to me, he's like, I don't watch wrestling. I haven't seen anything since, like, what did he say, the early 2000s?
The early 2000s, yeah. He's like, I stopped watching when China stopped wrestling.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was like, he's like, I haven't watched this forever, so I have no clue what's going on. And Levi's like, well, I really don't either. And Rick was just like, no, really, seriously, like, at least you hear your dad talk about it. I truly don't know what's going on. Other than now, we're walking around garage sailing yesterday, and somebody said something, and Rick looked at me and goes, backlash.
Fucking hilarious. Perfect. It's all just stuck in our brains.
So, it is stuck in everybody's brain now that visits the store that when you say it, you have to go, backlash. Backlash.
How about Elmo?
Oh my god.
Blake sent me that yesterday. Dude, is Danhausen gonna curse Elmo?
That was me and Alex were talking about it before coming over here. And I was like, oh, it'd be so amazing for him to be on Sesame Street. Like, he would kill it.
He would.
I didn't even think about that.
He could play it off in a way that's appropriate.
My favorite is his cover photo.
Yeah.
It's him and John Cena.
I think, okay, here, I have this conspiracy theory. John Cena retires, #1 kids wrestler. They need a new #1 kids wrestler.
Yeah.
And that's why they get along.
Oh.
They want kids to like Danhausen because he gets along with Cena, and they need a new marketing thing because, I'm sorry, but the kids are probably getting tired of John Cena at this point.
I
he's
think
older. He's in movies and stuff.
I think Cody said the other day on his podcast, Florence Housen, that Danhausen is now the #1 merchandise person on WWE. So
No, we're tiny.
We're tiny.
Well, I was trying to get it so they could see it.
Oh my god.
Inception.
It's like fucking The Force Awakens all over the world.
I wanted the people to be able to see Florence Housen.
Yeah.
So he is like just incredible. I love that he's just like he pops up on like people start talking about him on podcasts and different things like that. Did the Knicks win last night? Game 2 last night?
I mean, look up there. Knicks haven't lost since April 23rd.
Okay.
And that was 20 hours ago.
Okay, so the Knicks won again. Yeah, and he's been fighting the Miz. We still don't know what he's building. They now have released a shirt called Brunsonhausen. Because that's Jalen Brunson's famous pose. So WWE released a shirt called Brunsonhausen.
How fucking perfect will this all just be?
Supposedly last night during the NHL game, one of the NHL teams requested, it's the Spurs trying to steal Danhausen. One of the hockey teams requested that Danhausen curse the other hockey team.
Oh, yep. Right up here.
Okay.
He was promoting his cameo with it.
Pay Danhausen human money to uncurse this team. So he's cursed the Hurricanes?
And then in small parentheses, Danhausen is not responsible for uncursing being altered by outside forces. Uncurse at your own risk.
Disclaimer Hausen. That's what it's called. I mean, this dude is like, it's great.
The Sports Almanac from Back to the Future. I recognize that anywhere.
What is he requested something, didn't he? He made a request, a ridiculous request. About he wants a float at the Thanksgiving Day parade.
What the fuck?
He wants a Danhausen float.
I don't think they already have it.
If,
It was already played.
Yeah.
if the Knicks win, he wants New York City to give him a float in the Macy's Day Parade.
You know it's hard. Like they were like, all right, you can go ahead and announce the float, and then his announcing a float is demanding that. Like that's how he announces things.
It's great. Yeah, that's what it was. He requested his own float.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the one time I'm down with the AI art.
This is also the one time I just want to see a float go down somewhere. Just seeing the face of Danhausen slowly deflate on top of a crowd of people, all cheering their fucking ass off because they would be living for it.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Oh man. So just in case anybody didn't know, we didn't plan on starting this episode with Danhausen, but we did and we have, and this has all been brought to you. Credit Clay Creech for his involvement with the Danhausen.
Yeah.
So,
Did you also see his PS?
what's his PS?
Give the Muppet who lives in a garbage can apartment so he can get off the streets and turn his life around.
He's gonna end up on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I would love this. I need Danhausen as the next.
I am working on a purchase of the serialized version of the card from Magic. Like I am trying to track one down, but it is so fucking hard to find one right now. But I am going to find 316 if I can help it out of 500. So you get 316 on the bottom of the Danhausen card.
I love that.
I'm gonna look so fucking hard. Gen Con, I'm gonna call around.
Which card? The Danhausen?
Jury Master of Review from
Oh, you're talking to me.
March of Machines. Yeah, it's the one that triggers.
Did you say Jury Master of...
Just Jury Master and you'll find it. Throw MTG at the bottom.
Yeah. That didn't work.
MTG.
MTG. I just heard the TG and I was like, okay. I also apparently can't spell.
But
That
yeah, there's
fucker.
a serialized version of that one. Been scrolling Scryfall every day. Can't go to Scryfall and just type Jury at the top.
At this point, I was looking
Yeah.
to see if there's any listings of
There
them.
hasn't been since it fucking came out. TCG players never handled one.
Really?
Yeah, that's what's hard about it. Star City Games is a place to look. I'm hoping to not have a graded one, but I will fucking buy a graded one and crack it open.
So what if I can just what if we should just crack open some March of the Machine
If you can
collector
get them,
boosters?
I'd only get them from distributor, and I will buy in hard as fuck. If you can get it at reasonably priced, because TCG's all over the place. Buying secondhand's kind of weird. It's lower to buy loose packs than it is.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of in a weird fucking price range, but
That's the closest they got
Yeah.
is to notify me.
yeah, if you got any distributors with extra boxes laying around, let me know. We'll fucking work something out. But I will chase to find one from March of Machines. I need to make sure it's. I don't know if it's Aftermath or the original set.
It looked like it was.
It's the specifically on TCG players in the Multiverse Legends
But
subcategory.
they had Multiverse Legends was also in the Aftermath.
Oh, was it? I was gonna say I don't know anything from
Yeah.
March of the Machine.
I maybe not. I might be wrong. But either way, I'm looking for specifically 316 if we can find it.
That would be even better. Yeah, to
Yeah.
have 316 for sure. For sure.
And I have a limit on price, but it's pretty high. I'll sell cards. I don't care. I'll
What
make
is
a
that?
big ass trade.
That's worth $200,000 on TCG Player.
This?
The serialized Obosh.
Obosh is busted.
Out of March of the Machine.
Well,
It's
that's what I'm
a
saying.
$200,000 card.
It's a serialized.
It's probably number one.
They don't even have a picture of it. Normally they post a picture with it. That's just gonna be the whole story.
There were so many serialized cards in that set
Yeah.
that people locked them in their binders and didn't give a fuck. So people are sitting on these cards with not really wanting to get rid of them because not many people have serialized. They like to hold on to them. So it kind of got.
So when somebody does, okay.
So it's tough. But yes, I would love to chase after that. And then if we can't fucking get it, we take any other serialized we get to trade for at a convention or something. Go on a fucking, we'll do a vlog on tracking down the 316 Danhausen.
That's the for 316 Danhausen card.
Yeah, Golden Steve. What?
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I'm gonna try to buy all the other versions of it too. Those are a lot easier to take. I have 2 of them, I believe.
I'm just doing little Google searches, but from what it looks like, it's just March of the Machine.
Okay.
And there's 65 different ones you can get.
65 different serialized
serialized.
cards. So that's a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a few. Yeah.
Let's see what some of the expensive ones are. At least on TCG Player. I guess it's not going to be right, but Traxa.
See, and that's the shit. We'd end up pulling like some super cool ones and not the cheap ones.
Not the one we care about.
Yeah.
There are
And it's like-
way too many serialized cards in this set.
You know, but if we did pull
Yeah.
a couple of $300 or $400 ones, we might be able to get
Well,
a hold of.
I'll be
them.
honest, it would depend on which ones because some of those I would keep.
Right.
Yeah, like. Yeah, I'd keep some of them.
It bleeds into 3 pages
The
of serialized
Urabrask I would
cards.
probably keep because I have that one in Wolverine as an artist proof, so it'd just be nice to have another super fucking high-end version of it. laying
Right.
around.
Finn, we can get Finn.
Any of the is Luris serialized? Because Luris would be one I'd keep. I see all the other companions.
Let's see, is he on page 1?
Of course, Ragavan. You don't fucking let Ragavan go. You just
No.
look at that bitch for life on your shelf. Yes. I ain't joking.
Oh, come on, what about Squee?
Squee, hey, you fucking throw that one in the trash.
He's $2,000!
I know, but he'll come back because that's what he does.
Yes.
You throw him in the trash and he just comes back on his own.
At least listed up here on TCG, I'm not seeing Urus.
Yeah, see, that would be hard. There's so many good ones to keep. Fucking Halvar. I can't remember if Halvar's in that one. There's Luris. $40 for oh, that's just the Halo foil.
Where is he?
Reader's Mouse was just over him all the way to the right, second row.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, I know which one this one is.
I love Luris.
There's a new and I'll take this shortcut before we start with our main subject.
Oh yeah. Or we just keep on talking about all the randomest shit.
Yeah, well, I
do that.
saw the cat, and it
Oh,
reminded
right,
me
so
because my distributor just jumped. My distributor just released and announced that they've got a. It's not a TCG. It is legitimately just a set. Upper Deck made cat cards.
Well,
It's cards with all cats on them, and they made them like parallels and special borders, and like it's like and I was waiting for them to say we even have autographed cat cards. Like I was waiting for something ridiculous, but it's like basically just all cats. I'm like, well, okay.
I have a weird vibe with cats. I generally fucking hate cats. I do.
But
there's
you don't
always
hear
like
that.
some cats that are chill as fuck. And I'm like, I don't like everybody's cats. But like, I don't know. I don't like them as a whole. It's like there's some good ones and there's a lot of fucking bad ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we got one good one that hangs out on our porch, and I feed it and make sure it don't die. But it doesn't live in my motherfucking house. And like nothing against people who like cats, like I get it, but I don't trust them. There's something about them I don't trust.
I've always been more of a dog person, but growing up, we had the fucking 11 different cats. And then being with Kyla, it's like I enjoy them. I don't mind them. I've told her if I had my way, I just have one dog and that's it.
Well, and you've got like chill cats.
Yeah.
Like except for one, which is the one that's always around us, making her presence on.
Yeah,
but she's chill in the same regard too.
Yeah, the best part of her is that like she is like she really doesn't fuck with you unless you fuck with her, and then but it's fun to fuck with her because she gets so irritated and she's so fat that she has trouble getting around.
That one's gonna become fucking fat.
But they
the one we got on our porch rolls in the dirt like a dog. And it comes up. It doesn't really play. It just lounges next to you and wants you to pet it. And it's not like it doesn't fucking do anything other than just hey, I exist outside. I come over and say hi and sit with you. And then you get up and go inside and it's just fine. It goes off and adventures around. I'm like, all right, cool.
He named it. Did he tell you what the name
No,
is?
what'd you name it?
So, like I said, it rolls in the dirt. Its favorite spot is to roll in all the fucking dust underneath my truck. So we named it Dusty Roads.
Nice.
Not quite as boisterous, but does talk a lot for a cat. It's just like, meow, 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 meow. As soon as you come out there and you start petting it, it fucking lays down and gets its belly rubs.
Nice.
Yeah, it's now Dusty Roads. And it's an all-black cat, so there's lots of all-black cats running around lately.
Yeah. She's got 2 little white spots on 2 toes, and then other than that, she's like pitch black.
She's pitch black.
That is Boba.
Yeah, Boba.
I insist it's Boba Fett, but...
No, don't let Levi lie. He just really enjoys weed milk tea from the middle of the mall.
Yeah. Kyla loves boba tea.
I enjoy. You can take the balls out. I need the fucking balls, but milk and tea is a fantastic. I like it.
I can deal without the tapioca balls.
Yeah. I don't need balls in my mouth when I'm trying to take a drink.
Do you even know what boba is?
I know what Boba is.
Oh yeah.
Bounty hunter.
Yeah. He's from Star Wars.
He's a clone.
In the first 3 movies, all of his voice lines could be added up into the original tweet amount, which was only 144 characters. So in 3 movies of screen time and having voice lines, it could all be summed up in 144 characters.
Yeah, and I bet some of it's like onomatopoeia of sounds he made.
Well, one of them is one of the longest ones because people just use it. It's his last voice line, as he falls into the Sarlacc
He's
pit.
no good to me, Dad.
That's the only reason they filled up the last 140.
Yeah.
There's like a couple extra H's.
Yeah, he's no good to me, Dad. That's the one I remember.
Does he have any others?
I don't know. That's the famous one. Like, he's no good to me, Dad. Because he tells...
4 lines of dialogue.
He tells, as you wish, he's no good to me, Dad. What if he doesn't survive? It's worth a lot to me. Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold. it's funny that like his first two lines, "As you wish" and "He's no good to me dead," sound like two lines spoken by characters from Princess Bride. So
It does.
it does.
Why do you think that movie was so? Why do you think both those movies were so good? They had
Which I don't think I've told Brad. I did sit down and watch Princess Bride.
Yeah, he finally sat down and watched Princess Bride. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, it's one of those times where you're like, wow, those old fucks weren't lying.
Yeah.
And also, you can very much tell Andre's in horrible fucking condition.
Yeah.
I know that from just all the behind the scenes shit, but even watching it, I was like, oh, you look rough, buddy.
Yeah, the behind the scenes stuff is just funny, you know, to watch. Like Rob Reiner telling the story of him, you know, they had to bring Robin Wright down on strings, like, and hold her like with a hoist because he couldn't actually hold her. He wasn't strong enough.
Oh.
He had lost all of his strength by that point.
His strength, so you literally, or his back was in such bad shape he couldn't hold her. So they had to hold her up with strings and act like he was holding her. And he said they were standing there waiting to drop her down, and he said Andre let out like a 5.5 minute fart. Just stood there and just like this giant fucking massive fart that just like took forever. And he said everybody is like sitting like just kind of waiting for it to finish. And then it ended and Rob Reiner was like, Andre, are you okay? And all Andre did was go, I am now. That was but it was like, yeah, I mean, that was one of those things where it's just like,
There's somebody that left the fucking room to go to the bathroom and came back and it was still going.
Dan Soder and Will Sasso told that story. Like, Dan Soder told that story of hearing Rob Reiner tell it.
Yeah.
And then it led into them having a conversation about the fact that they had just wished that they had been, like, Will Sasso was like, I would have just loved to have met Andre so that I could hear one of his farts. Like, he goes, I know it's the weirdest thing, but like when people talk about Andre, they talk about his gas, they talk about him playing cards, and they talk about how much he could drink. And he's like, I just want, like, those would be the three things. I would just want to sit with him with a bottle of whiskey playing cards, and I just, at least once, I'd want to hear and smell his farts.
I don't want to smell it.
But yeah, that was Will Sasso was like, I was like, this is...
If I could have been in the room for the 4 or 5 minute fart, you would have probably called a paramedic because I would have like started seizing at a point and like laughing too fucking hard. Minute 3 and I've lost all function of my leg. And I'm gonna be on the floor. And it's gonna be torture at a point.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those ones where you get stuck in you can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
And now you're crying, and the inside is terror, and
it's
like, I don't know why I'm laughing anymore.
I can't make it stop!
Oh, man. So, okay, well, enough about Danhausen and Andre Giant Man farts. We'll get into the main attraction of the
how far along are we now?
24 minutes.
We'll get into the main attraction of what we were going to discuss today, and that was Brad's going to fill us in on one of his hobbies that we don't talk about very often.
Old hobbies. I don't do it anymore.
And that is skydiving.
Yeah.
So I obviously have never been real or fake. I haven't done one of those tunnels.
Next summer he's going, he's going to train, he's going to do it.
I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
When we had talked about bringing this up, it was funny because do you remember when you were 18 and Papal was gonna like get flying lessons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump out of a plane, and he took it as I wanted flying lessons.
Yeah, and he offered
Right.
me the same thing, and Brad was like, "You mean in a different universe, we were all friends because you guys knew how to fly planes, and I jumped out of them?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "He's like,
That
we
is
don't
wild.
meet because of the comic book store. We meet because you guys have a plane and you fly, and I jump out of them." And I was like, "You're probably
The
not wrong."
alternate universe that you are making me realize could have spawned is just outrageous.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: is like I know pretty much every pilot in town in some aspect. Either I know who they are, or I know them personally. Like there ain't a whole fucking lot of them.
No.
But yeah, it's like I would have known you in some capacity. We would have crossed paths at some point.
Yeah.
You probably could have met Morty because he was causing you to not be able to take off on the runway because he bolted across the fucking tarmac. I did that a couple times.
That's awesome.
But no, we could have totally fucking met somewhere else.
So, how did you get into skydiving?
Well, it's kind of weird. It's a bit of a sad story, not gonna lie. My grandpa had passed away, and like me and him were very, very close. And the earliest memory I can recall to in life, in general, is he took me on a plane ride out at the airport. It was like one of their open houses, but it was like fucking early 90s. I was like 4 or 5. My mom's got it written down somewhere in one of the baby book type things at home, but no, he took me on this flight, and I remember being inside the plane and like riding with him, and it was like the coolest fucking thing in my life. So when he passed away, I was trying to think of something to kind of go back to that memory, and I had just read in the newspaper that skydivers had settled in out at the airport. So I called them up, I scheduled, they were doing classes to where they teach you to skydive so you can do it on your own as well. Because I was like, fuck it, if I'm going to do it, let's at least try to start so I can do it on my own instead of doing it once and done.
Right.
Plus I was afraid of like, I didn't have a good proclivity for heading down a good path in rough times, so I was like, I needed something constructive. And I was like, we'll try this. And no, I think it was sometime around September. No, it wasn't September. It was like around Memorial Day, maybe. Here, let me check.
Oh, you have your
Oh,
fucking
you got-
book. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I got my logbook. First jump was 6/28/2015. So
Oh, this month, 11
yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
yeah,
21 days.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
yeah, and
Jesus.
That's awesome.
But no, what the interesting story about this was I show up and they're one of the few drop zones left in the United States that still did a student progression with what is called IAD, Instructor Assisted Deployment. And basically you get out of the plane, they have your pilot shoot, and they stand in place of a static line, which if you've ever seen military troopers jump out, they all jump out, the line pulls their parachute, and then they just all fall together. And that's kind of how they taught, except the stand-in was the instructor. You just hold your pilot chute, and when you fall, he keeps a hold of it, it pulls your chute. So there's no free fall in between, and it's to make sure you can learn your canopy skills and land the damn thing. And then once you're good to land, they go up higher, and you start free fall, and the instructor gets out with you. And it's kind of like, it's an old school way. A lot of places don't do it because insurance is a little weird, and like higher populated areas, they can't. Like it's just not feasible and trustworthy enough to make sure all the students are going to be able to do it. It's like backwoods Indiana works, you know, where you got a fucking crazy dude who's done nothing but extreme sports his whole life. Like he's going to be fine out here in the weeds, not doing a whole lot of damage. But no, I show up, we go through the class, it's an 8-hour class, and the day we were supposed to jump got rained out, but we still did the class, and then it was show up the next day, and that's when they had an open house, or maybe it was for like some kind of, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was an open house, and that means there's an assload of people out there. There was food vendors, like, I don't know if you've ever been to an open house at the airport, but they do plane rides, and they have people riding airplanes, and you can pay to ride.
You used to live next door to it.
And then, like, they just got a lot of families and shit out there. Well, my family comes out to watch. I get in the plane, and we take off, and the next thing I hear is this loud-ass buzzer going off. I've never been in a Cessna, so I'm just like, oh, that's, maybe that's a buzzer that goes off when it says you're off the fucking ground, because that's when it happened. No, I turn around and the entire windshield is now covered in fucking oil, and the pilot can't see out the windshield.
Oh, Jesus.
So I look over at my instructor, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, hold on, just don't worry about it. And then there is a fun jumper who was on there, and she was a nice lady. But she's like, just kind of put your head down and, kind of sit back. And I'm like, oh, I know what that means. I'm not putting my fucking head down. I'm looking out the window. I'm looking around. I'll be cool and calm, don't worry. But I am not putting my head between my fucking knees right now. No. And sure enough, the oil cap had blown off of the engine. And when it did, it shot a bunch of oil up. So you had to make the impossible turn and immediately turn around and try to land back on the runway with no actual pattern, which is very difficult to do. Plus you can't see. And we managed to land just fine. The plane is fine. Put oil in it, clean the windshield off, and they put me back in it to go up again. Same plane. Yeah, so.
Quick question. Why didn't he turn on his windshield wipers?
There aren't any. Windshield wipers on an airplane. Usually they go fast enough that water just falls off.
A bunch of Rain-X?
Yeah, the propeller helps blow it off, but oil tends to stick a little bit and it's black. But no, we get up and I had a successful jump. I landed just fine, but it was so nerve-wracking because it was in front of a lot of fucking people. And they had that problem. And everybody's like, I told my mom, I'm gonna get back in and go up. And it's like, you can instantly see on people's faces when they're like, oh, so you're gonna go die.
Yeah, like we almost just saw your certain death and you're running to go, I think I'm gonna do that.
I still, the people I was with made it comfortable. The pilot would, later, I would get enough of a friendship with him. He became one of my all-time favorite pilots. The most trustworthy guy I'd ever fucking be in an airplane with. And he was a few years younger. This kid was 18 when he did this.
Is he from Logan?
He was from, he was a student at Purdue.
Oh, okay.
And they're licensed to fly, and it was a way of helping them get at certain ratings they could not get from school. So when you're training to be a pilot, you have to go in the private world to get some of your training in order to get all the degrees and stuff. It's for the commercial side. Very fucking confusing, and that's why I just decided to jump out of them instead of flying.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, it took off from there, and then I continued doing it all the way. Let's see, last recorded jump was 21. That was in Frankfurt. But yeah, that was it's been a while. I'd like to get back to it, but I got up to 72 jumps, but
nice.
Some of them were not necessarily counted. So I'll find some good. Some of them weren't necessarily.
Some of them weren't all up to code.
Yeah, here we go. This is a good one. This was in 2020 during COVID. Skydiving over Niagara Falls, essentially. There was a drop zone. We went camping. We did a whole fucking tour of upstate New York, me and Alex. And yeah, we got to walk to Niagara Falls and get a picture of the falls in the background with no other fucking people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because COVID, everybody was COVID shy, and they weren't going to places. And it was one of those public areas that technically couldn't be shut down. Some of the attractions could be, or social distancing things were implemented, and it was like any other fucking there was nothing fucking wrong. And then it was a few months later when the border right where we were standing got that fucking truck that was set on fire.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't long after that, but that was a fun one. I don't know if he's got any questions.
I do. We've talked about it a little bit before when we went to, I think it was Elkhart for the one convention we did for you. Would you ever think about doing the squirrel suits? I don't know what they actually call them, but do you know what I mean by the squirrel suits, Dad?
Wingsuits.
Wingsuits.
Like the Batman suit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, like with those, is you want to be very well experienced jumping.
Does it have a parachute?
You have one on, yes.
Okay. Do you pull it, or do you just use the squirrel
operate
suit?
it the same way, but the only difference is everything has to be symmetrical. So when you pull parachute, you bring a hand back. If you do that in a wingsuit, you're rolling over instantly. So you have to pull like you're pulling with both hands and throw it out. Like you have to give a flap and kind of close your leg. You try to slow down, catches a little amount of air. So they usually like do one of those, and you gotta, dude, it's wild. And there's so many different aspects to it that are really fucking.
This is what I wanted to work my way up to.
Yeah.
This is I saw the Halo jumper.
Is this a jump that you do after you've done X amount of jumps with the so this is a progressive.
If you were the most perfect skydiver and naturally talented individual of all time, and no one's probably ever done it unless they're greasing the fucking wheels with some money or something, because it's got to be near impossible. But you could in fact do 150 jumps. I believe it used to be when I was still active. That's been 6 fucking years, or 7, not 7 years ago, like 5 years ago. So there's a lot of changes that could be made to the regulations, but you needed, I think it was a C license, and you needed a recommendation from an instructor to proceed with the course. And then you take a course, and I don't know how long that fucking takes before you're actually able to do it, or how they go about that. But yeah, there is a lot of progression to it.
Because as you imagine, that's stupid fucking dangerous.
And generally speaking, you only get to learn those classes by traveling to specific drop zones where they hold like a symposium or an event or something like that, where they're doing it as a group for multiple people like all week. And it's like everybody kind of meets up, get their certification, start learning, and then you jump with instructors of lower levels to hone your skills, then you're off jumping on your own probably after a certain amount. But I'm not too privy on it. Once I got into it, and then once I got to skydiving, it was more of a, I no longer want to work towards this because this is enough for me.
That makes sense.
It was enough that I wanted. It was more of a casual environment for me. I didn't want to chase too many thrills. I just like to get the fuck out. Get me an air bath, shake off all the bad shit from the day, and fucking have fun. Like,
so you've done Niagara Falls, most of your jumps in Indiana though?
Yeah, all of them. That's the only time I jumped out of state, I believe.
Oh, okay, it was Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and it was kind of a weird situation. I collected hats, and there was a big event going on at a drop zone, and there was a guy there that also collected hats. And their drop zone had released a limited edition of this brand with their logo and shit on it. And then there were other people that lived in the area that also collected. So some of them had went there just to buy the hat, but weren't skydivers. And I kind of tried to corral as many people as we could to go. And I ended up, it was like me and a couple other guys were the only ones that show up. But I actually skydived with them that, made a couple jumps that day. I have videos of those jumps as well.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because I got in trouble for wearing a GoPro before I had the proper number.
Oh,
Well, there was.
I guess that's a good question.
I don't want to call them out, but when you're trying to get someone to read the instruction book, the skydiving sim, you may want to be correct, and then when he shows you the page where he is in fact correct, you don't double down and act like he's wrong. Because they tried to say there were these strict requirements, these strict things, and like all this shit. And I had actually operated a camera with my previous instructors, and I may have overstepped because of the drop zone. Like, I didn't ask nobody, I just did it. But he tried to make a big deal, and they got all huffy, and then I got an old guy plus someone else, and he's like, nah, he's right, it's just a recommendation. Did he do anything wrong? No, he just wore the camera and made a normal fucking jump. I'm like, did he get tangled? Did he have any hazards? Did he worry? But no, none of it. He was like, I think then he's fine to fucking jump with it. That's like what the old guy telling him to stuff it. I'm like, it's okay, I won't make any more jumps today, and me and Alex left. And this was the kid I was supposed to meet up about the hats. And it was kind of, it left a real shitty fucking taste in my mouth, but I had 2 awesome jumps. I got a cool ass video. I only did it on one of the jumps.
Well, and also my brain goes to it's a GoPro. I mean, you can literally see it on this fucker.
Dude, it can fuck your life all to hell.
Right, but I mean, like, it's not a full camera equipment. Like, it's not like you actually.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it can still get tangled up. You have the harness and everything. You gotta be smart about it. But of all the cameras that someone could bring to record, a GoPro, I feel like is probably.
It depends on where it's at. And I had it on my helmet, which I was going to bring my helmet until I realized it was too far fucking dug out. I was at like 60 some jumps at this time, and like I said, I already jumped with it. He didn't know that I had made flag jumps at approximately 450 jumps before he ever even thought about strapping a flag to his fucking feet. Like, I was kind of in a position where I couldn't really, like, yeah, I have experience doing this, or they're going to be like, why the fuck do you have experience doing this? And it was just, I had people that trusted me and knew I was good at what I was doing, and it was one of the first things I ever completely excelled at. Like, 3rd jump, my radio cut out, and I landed and did everything dead target properly with no communication. And that was like, well, it looks like you're off radio now. I was supposed to be on it for like 5 more jumps after that, like the natural progression. So everything came up really good for me. It was kind of hard to fit in other places because they look at your logbook with such low numbers, and then they don't trust your tall tales because
anybody can tell them anything.
Yeah. And when you're in the skydiving world, everything sounds extravagant. And I'm like, you had to have been there. You had to see, FAA air bosses tell me that I can do something waiver that nobody in the United States has ever gotten to fucking do. Like, jumping in front of a crowd of like 65,000 people and during the national anthem, because he had control of the airspace, everything was controlled, and he had the authority to write a waiver on any fucking skydiving restrictions.
That's awesome.
And he had people with collectively 20,000 jumps telling him that I was alright. He had an entire squad of 5 guys being like, nah, he's fine. He does everything with us. And it's like, yeah, he'll be fine. And it's like, okay, $1 million fucking aircraft business owners are saying, let's get him in mind specifically and let's take him up. But you go tell that story to the same guy who I just cooked on fucking camera knowledge, and he's gonna be like, you've never even jumped, you stole this log, but they're not gonna fucking believe you at all.
Yeah, so where'd you jump in front of 65,000 people?
It was at Goshen, and I was doing ground crew that day, but yeah, they had went to the air boss and they were getting set up to do a helicopter jump, and they had changed the plane, because initially it was supposed to be in the Cessna we used. So the guy sponsoring the day owns a helicopter company. He had a brand new helicopter, and he's like, here, I want you guys to jump out of this and advertise for the business. You guys get to make a fun helicopter jump. They're actually few and far between for skydivers to get the opportunity for a helicopter, because there's so much more that goes into it.
Yeah, because also you can't really jump off of them.
You have to be, you can't jump. You don't jump out of anything.
Well, right.
You fall out of it precisely.
I just know I've heard many times people be like, or helicopter pilots specifically, if you jump, your head's taken off, because that fucking, it'll tip and the propeller will just fucking hit you.
Yeah, so what we did was I think there was 4 or 5 of us that ended up, and I think one of the guys actually, I'm trying to remember who all was there. Either way, we had to get out on the helicopter when it was hovering above our target evenly. One person gets out from each side, walks down the thing, and and then next person out, and doors stay open, they're locked open, so the pilot doesn't have to worry about them. Chilly motherfucking ride, by the way. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. These guys are in their normal gear for jumping, and it was like last minute throwing it in, and I was like, grabbed a parachute, threw it on my back, and so I'm like fucking shivering the whole time. We finally get out, and it was the weirdest feeling because you're touching the helicopter, and usually when you get out of a plane, it's like meow, he keeps going, but you're like watching the like it was just.
You're watching the helicopter just hover above you.
Yeah, it was so slow starting off your fall, and the guys in front of you, and we're all just like, it was like a weightless kind of feeling at first, and you kind of just, you're upright until you get enough speed that you can control your body, but for a moment you can't really do anything, and it was like the spookiest feeling. And then yeah, I ended up being the only one that landed on target out of that jump too, right dead center with Alex fucking big-eyed, not knowing what the hell she's doing with a radio and a wind gauge in her hand. I'm just like, go out, stand by the target, and tell us if anything's gonna fucking get in our way, you know. And everything was fine.
I love that.
But yeah, I got to land, and there was two Huey helicopters at hover, and then a Cobra in the middle, and they were just at hover during the national anthem. And dude, it was so many motherfucking people at the Goshen Airport. Like the whole area where usually the aircrafts drive in between the hangars is nuts to bust fucking people, and then the entire fence around the outside that's anywhere near a residential area is just completely covered with people sitting there in their lawn chairs watching for free, not attending, like shit. It was so packed with people. Yeah, gotta land out there. It's a really good day. We did that air show a few times, and anytime they did demo jumps, I'd ride along with them, because George would throw a few bucks on the books, and it made my jumps cheaper, which were already cheap enough because when you're licensed, you pay like, it was like $20 for me to make a skydive. Every time I wanted to do it, it was just like $20.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you're licensed and ready to go, got your own shit.
Does like
pay for gas.
Does Logan Sport have like somebody on standby, or do you have to like call and make an appointment, or?
No, it's done. We shortly after COVID, we kind of had to end it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you were so if you were to go somewhere close that did the skydiving, is it like, do they have specific days where you have to go, or do you call and make appointments?
Call and schedule. Frankfurt does a lot of. Minneapolis, Frankfurt. They do a lot of tandems. I've jumped there a few times. That's usually where I can go catch my older buddies. In fact, if I wouldn't have done the podcast today, I could have went down and met up with two of them, because when what day we were talking
is that
about
last Friday maybe?
I had an old buddy call me, and they were going down this weekend to do it. But yeah, you just, if you're a normal, regular fun jumper, you just show the fuck up and get on the list. But if you're doing a tandem, you would probably have to definitely call ahead, and who knows what their scheduling's like. I don't know what business is like down there right now, but it's usually pretty moving. They get a lot of people, and it's a fun time, I think, down there. But it's too busy for me. Like, I'm more of a, like, we got a small plane and a handful of guys, and we sit here and crack jokes to tandem people all day, and then we get on fun jumps in between. Because, like, you can have 2 tandems in an airplane and 1 fun jumper. So I'd usually just get in, and I'd be in the back of the plane. They'd get their tandems out, and then I'd wait a little bit, let them get flowing, and then get out after them and go fucking have fun, zoom down real fast, and then they'd get to see me over here playing around skydiving too, and it was always fun. Like, there's a video of Alex's tandem that she did, and you can hear George go, "Hey, there's Brad," and then he takes the camera, and you just see me go whoosh, right around in the background, but I'm like a few hundred yards off, you know. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Having the experience with knowing the parachutes and how to jump and all of that, have you ever considered base jumping?
I would in the right circumstances. The thing that's scary about base jumping is you got one chute, and you better fucking pack that bitch right.
Yeah.
And I hate packing. So somebody else better pack that motherfucker right, because it ain't my fault no more.
Base jumping.
What's base jumping?
It is you don't go in an airplane. Go climb up somewhere high and jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most people get arrested for it because they like to go climb abandoned skyscrapers or buildings under construction and jump off of them.
Where they're trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that he had a couple buddies. They would go find fire towers, old fire towers, antennas, and they would do that shit at night. Do a quick jump. Nobody ever fucking see it. As long as you remember where the wires were and like shit like that. Yeah, they didn't give a fuck. They'd go jump, get it out, and then fucking go back and finish drinking at their house.
Base jumping's the one thing to me that like I love thrill seeking. I've always wanted to skydive. Like I said, I would love to get to the point of being able to do the wingsuit. I could never do a base jump. Just the aspect of no reserve and it's all on you, and I know I fuck a lot of shit up.
Base jumping is very quick thinking, and that's where it's like you feel more inclined to do it after you put down like quite a few skydives.
That would make sense.
Because then you're like, okay, I know what to do when a parachute opens all wonky. And like, base jumping parachute's going to open faster and more reliably, but you're going to need to know on heading, like openings, where your wind's coming from, how it's whipping through against the wall, and like what it does different. Like there's so much fucking crazy shit that goes into it. But yeah, if you've got an assload of skydives first, you're going to be a safer base jumper. But if you just start by base jumping, you're going to have an early crash, and you're going to learn from it, but you unfortunately have to learn the fucking harder way if you just start. And that's a personal opinion. It's not a factual based anything, but anybody I know that goes in between them, it's like the base jumpers you really got to watch out for, because they don't understand how important the little details are if they don't have skydiving experience.
I was going to say, a lot of the base jumpers, from my understanding, that don't have skydiving experience are just hoodlum retards that found someone doing it on the internet and went, I know a tower in my town I can climb.
Yeah, and I mean, you can learn and you can be the greatest base jumper out there, and there are people who are those exact types who have went on to revolutionize gear in sports, and their stupidity created something that's saving lives, and it's under their own findings, like, oh yeah, when I jumped and did this, you can't do this with this style of equipment or it's gonna fucking tangle and break, or so what do? They hillbilly up something that makes it work, and then it becomes a real thing, because it's not just, it doesn't look like a cheap fix anymore. It's like, we should have been doing this a long time.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Is it just, this is how I picture it. I picture that you jump out of it, and even though it's probably not as long from plane to ground, like, does it feel like an eternity?
Oh, you can get a lot of shit done in a minute.
Does it feel like a lot longer than what?
So, I got a free fall calculation chart in here too, but on each of these I have calculated my delay. It says delay in distance, so this is how long I fell before pulling. 10 seconds, stuff like that. You do what's called a hop and pop, and you get out and you get stable, so you want to give yourself like 10, 15, 20 seconds off the step of the plane before you pull. And usually the lower seconds on that meant I was able to get more stable fast, like quicker. Or I were intentionally waiting. There's any number of reasons.
Are you counting?
Yeah, so like here's a jump from 12,000 feet. I had a 46-second delay. That was me falling approximately like almost 9,000 feet. 9,000 feet in 46 seconds. I was working on 180-degree turns, so chances are I was probably low nose down and heavy, and like just pushing a little faster. But the same, like, it just depends on like what I'm working on. But like, 49 seconds, 45. That's on average falling about anywhere from 7,500 feet to 900 feet, depending on the altitude we got. And you always know if I ever got 12,000 or higher, it's because it was just me and Derry in the plane, because our plane can't actually get to 13.5. Like the normal skydiving limit. We couldn't really get up to 13.5 because the plane wasn't a turboprop, just an old fucking good plane. But yeah, once I get to 13.5, then I would have had an entire minute of free fall.
So do you have any time in that where it's just like, I would,
You find yourself with extra time.
do you just like,
As weird as that sounds, you find yourself with extra time.
and is that like, is it like one of those things where it's, I don't want to say out of body, that's not the right words, is it just like, is it a surreal, like, at one with oneself moment?
Yeah, because
while you're
everything leaves your mind.
Right,
Every single fucking thing in the world leaves your mind. And like, all you're focusing on is what you're doing. And I'm not saying like, you're like, oh shit, I gotta do this, that. No, sometimes you're like, you're falling, you're like, alright, I'm stable, you look at your altimeter, and then you're like, oh look, there's my house, you know, or like, you look around and you're like trying to spot other skydivers, but it's calm, but it doesn't take you very long to fucking do it. Like, and then you just notice you start to have more time than what you got, and you can relax, and I don't know, you just focus so fucking hard because it's impossible for anything.
Yeah, I can picture it being one of those moments where you could like super hyper focus on something.
Yeah.
And be one of those things. I also, in my head, liken it to after you do the first one, it's like a child or a dog going down a slide. And they run as fast as they can to get back up and go back down. like I can picture that being like, it's like that adrenaline, that natural high of the fun that you are having, where your body is just like your mind and body are all at one going down. That you're just like, oh fuck, I have to do this again. Like, when am I going back up? Like, so you just, like, the dog just, I can picture the video I'm picturing is the dog going down the slide into the pool, jumping out, running back up, going down the slide, getting the pool. Like,
I mean, there were definitely people that were more like that than I was. For me, it was more like, I get down and I could breathe, and I felt good and clear. And I just want to relax a minute, and I wasn't always in a big hurry to get back up there. Hell, half the time I miss loads because I intentionally didn't pack. Like, I'm just standing next to the building, smoking a cigarette, drinking a Mountain Dew with my old buddy, you know? Or like, hey, I'm gonna run to the house real quick, and
I could also see where just going up 2, 3, 4 would be easier after that first one.
Yeah, it's definitely easier. It's a long it's like a 20-minute flight up in the air.
Because you have to get up so high.
Yeah, you have to get up there. And it gets pretty exhausting. There's no seats. You're just seat belted in with the seatbelt running through your leg strap and then strapping it in. And then at a certain altitude, you take it off because if there's any fucking problems, sorry pilot, we're getting the fuck out. Like,
yeah.
Oh no, the wing's on fire. We love you, man. We'll miss you. Bye.
We'll miss you. We hope you land
get out
safely.
You can get out too, but we know you're not going to because pilots never fucking get out.
There was the
See you
one,
later.
but he's got arrested.
Yeah, he did that shit on purpose.
Oh yeah,
He had the wrong kind of rig to be getting out. The fucking, he didn't have a shitty ass thin fucking pilot. Like, he was not wearing a pilot's parachute. You don't wear a fucking Mirage G2 to sit comfortably in a fucking pilot chair. That guy had a high performance canopy on his back when he left that airplane. And that is how you know he fucking lied about it. And that's, it shouldn't be no option. Find a judge that knows skydiving.
I was gonna say he got in a bunch of legal trouble
Yeah.
for it. I don't know if you know what we're talking about. A video went viral because a dude claimed that his airplane malfunctioned and he had to jump, and it was this big news story because it crashed in the middle of a field and blah blah blah, and he uploaded it to YouTube. And then a bunch of people like Brad, who have knowledge of it, said exactly that. Just based off of his equipment alone, not even anything else. Also, he had a GoPro put right on the wing, right where it faced, where you'd see him look at everything and go, oh shit, and then jump out. Like most people when they film them like flying, it's from inside the cockpit, not outside.
Yeah.
Like everything was set up that this guy just wanted to ditch a plane.
And it was like engine failure or something.
Yeah, that's what he claimed.
I believe he was in a bush plane, which those things can land with no engines, like the easiest. You can land easier in those with no engine than some planes with a fucking full engine going. Like in the middle of a field, you could have taken it down. We see the size of the fucking tires on it. It's meant for it.
Yeah,
like you can take a regular Cessna with regular tires down a grass strip. But going into soft mud, you'll probably flip.
If I remember correctly, I think it was like rock. No, I don't want to say mountainous terrain, but more hilly and like rocky. So that was his excuse why he couldn't land it.
Because he's stupid.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Stupid.
And obviously the courts agreed.
Plane.
Yeah. So I know this because I've been watching podcasts, and that's how this kind of came up. You had a buddy called, and I had just happened to listen to a podcast, and I said that we should do this.
Yeah.
So now you can go places. You can go places and do specific DB Cooper jumps.
Oh yeah.
Like the famous DB Cooper. You can do, like they have, I think there's a festival for him somewhere.
Dude, there's the Goshen helicopter was 7.619.
That was the helicopter, right?
Yeah. I was trying to go through different aircraft here real quick. I can't remember what the fuck he jumped out of. It's DC. What was it? I can't remember.
A lot of C-182s.
Yeah, it's the old bird. There's this somewhat pineapple slicers in here somewhere, but I don't remember which jumps it was. It was the CD-192 maybe.
But you can go somewhere and do the DB Cooper jump.
Yeah.
Do you know what the DB Cooper is? Do you know what
Yes, I know who fucking DB Cooper is.
Listen, I don't know.
Conspiracy theories and crew crime, you can almost guarantee I know.
So.
You know the real things that actually happen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is my favorite jump. This is the jump I proposed to Alex after, and I have her signature in my logbook for it. It was 8/17/2019. I jumped a 24-foot NK1 RC from 1974. It was a round parachute that my instructor had bought brand new, and I managed to stand it up when I landed, which is near impossible. If you've ever watched skydiving videos of soldiers landing and they're just like right into the ground real hard, I was essentially jumping something smaller than their parachute, and I stood it up perfect. And the joke was I didn't even see the grass blades bend over when you landed, because shortly after that, I had another buddy who weighed quite a bit more than me jump the same parachute, and when he landed, he accidentally straight leg landed.
Oh, that fucks you up.
It shot all the way through his back, and all you hear, you see him going to land, you see him stand straight up, and you hear, and then he fell over, and it was like, holy fuck, but he fucked his back up so bad that day.
Oh, I bet.
He had a good landing, like he was landed nice and close, and but fuck, he was on all fours in the hangar sitting there, and then I proposed to Alex.
He's over there in pain, dying.
You're not gonna ruin my day, Brian. No, I love Brian. He was such a good friend, but.
Like a lawn dart?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, if he was wearing high heels when he jumped, he'd still be stuck out.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
So how fast is the plane going?
It slows down. It's almost like I would say about 70 miles, 60 mile an hour. It's like basically when you climb out on the wing of the plane, the step is this big, not very big. Don't miss it. I have. It sucks. But you step out there, and then depending on how many people are getting out, I would walk all, like I would all the way out on the strut of the wing, and then I would dangle from it. And then the next guy would come out, and they would put their feet on the step and get on the other side of the strut. So imagine this is the strut. I'm dangling over here. This guy is facing this way with the propeller that way. And then another guy would get out on the step directly across from him. And then there'd be one guy in the door, and then we'd all jump in one group, and that'd be all four of us. Or one at a time. Like if for demo jumps, they would get out, and they would do it one at a time, perfectly timed. And George was usually this guy, and he would nod you off on when to jump and stuff like that. But yeah, you get out there and hang. Where the fuck was I going with this? What were you asking?
How fast the plane was
how
going.
fast. So yeah, it's about, so when you're doing this, it's like standing in the bed of a pickup truck going about 60 mile an hour down the highway. Except it's a lot less bumpy, and there's no floor.
There's a...
Yeah. So you're standing up in a pickup truck with no floor, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. And then when you get to falling, 120 mile an hour, usually, heading towards the ground. The bigger you are, the faster you fall. And your body position matters a lot. So I was a floater in the sense that I was so light, and at times I didn't have the experience to get my body position right to regulate my fall rate as well as the others. So I couldn't fall faster very easily if I needed to. I had to wear a weight belt a lot of times. I put 20 fucking pounds on my waist just to help. And I could get my fall rate as low, like sub 100 if I got big, had the right jumpsuit on. Like I was literally like, I got my money's worth out of a fucking jump.
Yeah.
And I would pull my parachute at 2,500 feet, and I'd still be up there 5 minutes longer than everybody else. Like just fucking hanging out, chilling, hitting thermals, riding thermals up, and it's almost paragliding at that fucking point. But yeah, I'd say plane's only going, pretty slow relatively to like when you're getting up to speed, you're going a lot faster than that, and they cut the engine so you don't have that fucking shitting air at you. You're almost in a glide. You are losing a little bit of altitude, so the longer it takes you to get out of the wing, the more altitude you kind of lose.
Now, on the place where you can go for the D.B. Cooper jump, they say his jump was at like 20,000 feet, and the plane was going like...
It's impossible unless he had supplemental oxygen. If he was sitting there the entire time with an oxygen mask down and the door deep, like the whole thing...
They also don't know
Yeah.
when he jumped.
Yeah.
Because he made them leave the staircase in the back down the whole time. Well, not the whole
You
time,
would
but
have
after they
to.
got up.
You would have to, and then the cabin isn't pressurized. So if
Oh,
he's-
it wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't 20,000 feet, was it? It was... I think he made them go... I think he made them fly low.
10,000 feet.
Okay,
10,000
he
feet
was
is
at 10,000
fucking
feet.
gravy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get up to 15,000 feet. Some people would need a little bit of oxygen.
But I think he's...
I was gonna say,
what's
well-
it? Yeah, roughly around 200 miles an hour.
That ain't shit. You can
Okay.
If
Okay.
you know what you're doing, that ain't shit.
I know from podcasts I've listened to, and they've probably mentioned on the ones you listened to, that's why a lot of people think he had some kind of military service or previous skydiving
Well,
experience. in
yeah, there
general.
was a guy that
He also understood how the Boeings worked very
Yeah.
in detail.
Yeah.
Well, they've had people claim to be him, right?
Like, several people have claimed to be him. Yeah.
I know the most
What if
recent
it
one.
was like one of them did, and then everybody else started doing it, so they just quit believing every one of them? And he's like, God damn it, I fucking told him I did it. And he's like, why won't they believe
There's
me?
several that have claimed that they've done it. There's one guy that claims that his brother told him on his deathbed that he did it, but
I'm gonna tell
everybody's
everybody I did it when I die.
told him, like, everybody is supposedly said that that's not true.
I still love the dumb fact that he never put, like, on none of his ticket, none of the manifest, nothing did it say DB Cooper. He signed everything Dan Cooper.
Yeah.
And some dumbass was like, oh, it's DB.
Yeah, it was a comic book character.
Is that what it was after?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dan Cooper is it's a comic book. It's a comic book, like Jumper,
Yeah.
Plane Jumper.
He looks like a pilot.
Yeah, he's a pilot that jumps out of planes. So yeah.
Dan Cooper is a test pilot in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Early storylines featured futuristic science fiction themes such as piloting a rocket ship to the Martian moon.
Everybody's so concerned with motherfucking DB Cooper. Nobody ever said the comic book came from Canada. Did anybody fucking investigate Canada?
Canada?
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Does it say up there why they called him DB? Because I see where some of the comic storylines seemingly match aspects of the DB Cooper case. I thought maybe it said the niece of one suspect, Lynn Doyle L.D. Cooper, said in 2011 that her uncle had been a fan of the Dan Cooper. Yeah, most of the people that have come out and said that they haven't. I don't know if there's as many people that have come out and said they were DB Cooper, or as many people have come out and said, hey, my uncle was DB Cooper. Hey, my brother was DB Cooper.
Yeah.
Hey, my third cousin removed college roommate was DB Cooper. Like if
I had a family member come up to me and be like, "Hey, I was DB Cooper," I would proceed to beat the fuck out of them. Because for one, if they were, where's the goddamn money?
Where's the money?
Well, they lost most of it. They've recovered a lot of destroyed. Not like I'm saying they recovered most of the money, but they've recovered.
They didn't recover a lot of it. It just like it's $5,800 is all they recovered.
They've recently found more.
Oh, have they found more?
Yeah.
I know that.
I was just saying,
allegedly.
I was just saying they found a bunch of destroyed builds in the same area where he supposedly would have landed.
Yeah. What year was that? 72?
71? 71 in Seattle, Washington. I just...
You know, the buddy I got that called me the other day, it's this real nice fucking hot rod, and he started jumping about the same time. I think he moved off to Indiana.
Does he look like that?
What's his height? What's his suspected height?
5'10" to 6 foot.
Okay. Unless they misjudge the height, then no, because he's shorter than me. He's like 5'7", 5'6", somewhere there. Maybe more than that. I don't know.
Just jumped and then... I mean, it would make sense not to stay in the Washington area.
I just always wonder if I didn't, hang out with this guy at some point.
Wouldn't that...
Because he's, he really did it for the thrill, and then, fucking probably did lose most of the money, and it just ain't been found. He's like, oh, I fucking botched it all, but they never figured it out it was me. And, just keeps it a secret.
He'd roughly be, based off of the descriptions, everyone said he was roughly around 28 or 29 years old, and it was 54 years ago, so he'd be about 82.
What is the aircraft?
It was a
Boeing 727?
Yeah.
Is it a dash what? Down further.
Dash 51.
Okay.
They, and the thing that I was watching wasn't a podcast. You guys aren't old enough to remember this, but back in 2012 maybe, what's his name? Brad Meltzer, which is a guy that writes comic books and mystery novels, had this show on the History Network called Decoded.
I have a question.
What?
Do you not remember my childhood? Because first off, you said in 2012. Motherfucker, I was born in 99. You guys may not be old enough to know this.
Oh, okay, well...
Also, We would sit at Mamaw and Papa's and watch half
And
of
watch
these.
this?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. I couldn't remember if you did. Yeah. So this is what I've been watching. I've been rewatching all of this. And I love his conspiracy theory shit, like, through the years, through the episodes. And honestly, I would love to do, like, if I could find a way to get paid to go back and do all of his conspiracy theories, but updated to where, like, did John Wilkes Booth die the night that they said he died? Like, it was never, did John Wilkes Booth really kill Lincoln? It was always, did he get away? And then it was like, he did, like, is there really gold in Fort Knox? And, you know,
No.
the D.B. Cooper and the missing cornerstone of the White House and you know, things like that.
Check your messages, Levi. That was the Niagara Falls jump.
Oh, you sent it on Facebook. I can pull that up then.
And I would love to go back and be like, this is what we know now, like 15 years later. Like, because I feel like there's a lot more information out there.
Did you send it on Facebook?
Messenger.
It might take a minute
It's
to
the one
go
with
through.
both of us.
The group.
Just me, you, and your dad.
Yeah, it might take a minute.
Yeah.
Probably because it's. Is it a video?
I just linked it from my shit. Sorry, back to what you were saying.
It just might take a minute to for him to get it. For the whole send process.
God damn it, Zuckerberg.
But yeah, I would love to go back through and like update that. I just hadn't been able to find a way for somebody to pay me to do that.
It's hard to get paid for a lot of things. Hey, there we go.
I know, right? It is. It is. It kind of sucks. Are we gonna watch The Jump? Which one are you?
I had the one with the camera on his head. The one you never see.
The one we don't see.
So these guys were all over 60, in between 70. They were all just old buddies making a jump together.
I'm sure that'll take too
Yeah,
long.
so, yeah, this is me right here. Give a little bit of time, fling on out. That is Lake Ontario. So what you're looking at is parts of Canada. I'm over New York, but that is all Canada right there across the river. Where it funnels in and gets smaller, that's Niagara Falls right there. That's the Niagara River. But yeah, it's nothing too crazy. Just going around getting a view. You can see Toronto, I believe.
Dude, that's fucking
Kind of
awesome.
hard, yeah. At night you can see the lights from Canada. Because I think Toronto's the one across the lake.
Yeah, because the Bills had threatened to move to Toronto, I think.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of teams moving, did you see Indiana officially has 2 football teams?
yeah, the Bears are moving to Hammond.
But yeah, this was like, this area was fucking beautiful. A pretty pink and purple parachute.
I love that parachute, man.
I love it too. It did me good. It's a saber one, and most people steer away from them because it does what they call the saber slam, and it opens so abruptly sometimes that it'll fuck you up, dude. It'll fuck you up. But I had a weird way of packing it that was a little out of the normal way of packing. Like, you wouldn't pack a normal parachute the way I packed that one. And it helped slow the slider. You see how slow the slider came down? That's because of the way I packed it. Otherwise, that shit shoots down and it goes boom, and it stops you more sudden. And it can fucking hurt. But yeah. One of my skydiving buddies was going to buy my rig off me until I told him what the parachute was. He was like, yeah, I better.
So cool.
There's another guy coming by, passing me.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. That's the landing area below me. I just kind of kept her pushed into the wind, here and there, spiral down those mountains.
So how do you know where you're supposed to land?
On this one, by luck. because I wasn't familiar with the area. At our airport, it was super fucking easy because I know I'm at the local school.
Oh, okay.
So I literally could follow county around. Like, you put me on anywhere and it didn't matter.
Like, how do you know that you're gonna land where you need to land, though?
You follow your altimeter pretty close.
Oh, okay.
And there's some good guidelines for knowing when and how to approach at what altitudes. So you start doing a couple practice passes, and you always stay ahead of the target. But you go around about a few hundred feet, take a turn, see how much altitude you lose, and you just kind of do a quick loop around and then turn back into the wind. And then see where you're at. And then you can kind of gauge your pattern there. If you're going to be able to, if you need to go farther down to lose the altitude in order to land.
Are you shooting for like a field?
See that barn? Okay. Pause it right now. Alright, I'm going to stand up. I'm shooting for right here in this area. This is the grass strip where the plane lands. That's the main hangar.
Okay, so that's what
Yeah.
you're shooting for.
Yeah.
Okay.
For anyone looking on the computer, about right there with my mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do it pretty nicely.
Yeah. Nice.
But it's busy. Like, it looks like it's calm and collected, but there were about 20 fucking jumpers on that plane that got out after me.
Oh, no shit.
The sky was scattered. It was a twin otter. First time I ever got a jump out of one. It's, I believe, I can't remember if the otter was designed for skydiving or not, but it's one of the more predominantly ones used at like big drop zones because it can hold so many people. It has oxygen supplement if you need it. There's just some other things. Frankfurt, they run a PAX, which is a really fun, fast as fuck aircraft. Like, you get to altitude so goddamn fast. Like, that would be a place to jump, go up the slide, jump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with the microphone, it's horrible. How bad is that wind with the helmet and everything? Like, I guess the noise
Not
of
too
it.
bad. Not like that. It's just like standing out in the middle of the field on a windy day. You just ain't got nothing blocking the wind.
Yeah, I imagine it's worse for the camera
Yeah,
because it's out of the helmet. You know, it's not got a helmet on.
Tandems have right of way, generally speaking, but it's always the lowest. Right of way is always the person in front of you going the lowest. If you're faster, you need to adjust and kind of be prepared. That big ring is more for us to land by, and I think the tandems are supposed to land in front, but they kind of told us, like, just be safe, you can land, be careful kind of thing. But I was shooting for that big circle. I got pretty close. But yeah, you see this guy come right over my shoulder. Didn't even know he was there, did you?
No.
He was flying up above me the whole time up in this back corner. And like, as soon as I landed, he kind of came down, and that was a tandem flight. I believe that was a friend of mine as well. If you keep, was at the end of the
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
There's another, I cut it, I have another chunk somewhere where I run up to him and I gave him a copy of that video, so he
Nice.
see
nice.
my jump with a little extra footage at the end. But
Yeah.
it was a fucking beautiful day though.
Cool. So that was your Niagara Falls jump?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right. That is, got anything else?
You know, I initially want to talk about movies and skydiving, but that'd be another long-winded fucking conversation, so I don't know what time we looking at.
Hour 22, I believe, is what it said.
Yeah, I'd say we ain't got time for that. Maybe another time.
Hour 23.
Yeah. No, the wife wanted to go out and do some things, otherwise I would continue on that conversation. We could have a 2-hour podcast easily.
We can pick that up on part 2 or something. Pick that up
Your fucking research, Levi, is you have to watch Honeymoon in Vegas.
Honeymoon in Vegas. Got it.
That's your research.
I forgot.
Honeymoon in Vegas
I forgot.
is the research. And there is some very specific reasons why. One of them being Nick Cage.
Yes. I love me.
The other one being my favorite team of skydivers of all time. And this is probably the subconscious reason I ever wanted to skydive without knowing it. Because I have been on a quest to jump with the Flying Elvises. for a very long fucking
Is that a real fucking thing?
Oh,
It is
absolutely. And they
absolutely a
got
real
to be
thing.
in this movie.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Wait till you see who little Elvis is. Do you remember the movie much?
A little bit.
Yeah. So
Why does it pull up the Patriots logo?
they jump for the Patriots, I believe.
Oh,
every now
okay.
and then.
There's also a wrestling video, The Flying Elvis' Pro Wrestling.
They're a demo jump team. So basically, what they do is what my buddies used to do, except they didn't dress as Elvis. They just dressed like regular guys.
What the fuck?
But
There's
yeah,
Nick Cage
that's some
jumping.
real shit.
Third row down. Yeah, there's.
But that is a movie
Nice.
research for you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch it.
Their
The flying
their
outlaw?
wigs are not just wigs; those are in fact functional helmets.
Really?
You don't need
Actually, I can
much.
see that hard plastic.
You don't need much actually, and it's like a lot of guys wear leather hats.
But there's also skydiving movies. There's Honeymoon in Vegas. There's
Gypsy
what,
Moths.
Point Break.
I'm trying to think of the more obscure ones because I know somebody would say Point Break almost immediately.
Point Break.
It's-
Point Break's the easy
Gypsy
one.
Moths is a good one. Very fucking old. You want to see Hackman again? No, that was Redford, wasn't it?
It was no James Caan's in
James Caan.
Honeymoon
The
in
guys
Vegas.
that all look the same. Gene Hackman's in Gypsy Moths. That was a very cutting edge movie for the sport at the time. I had a whole fucking thing pulled up earlier too.
Yeah, so we'll absolutely pick this up on another one.
Yes.
But Levi, we'll have to give Levi a list.
I could do trivia. Let me force you guys through skydiving trivia.
We can do that.
Do
yes.
skydiving
absolutely.
trivia, and then it could be a teaser, and you can rerun the questions for Wednesday. So anybody that listens has an edge up on the competition.
Nice. That might work. That might
Yeah.
work. Okay. So what are you doing? Writing honeymoon in Vegas?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the
Oh.
list of.
I forgot one. The best trivia question you could ask: what is the weirdest item that the local Logan Sport resident Brad Titus has jumped with in his pocket? And then we just list 4 weird items, but the answer is a pair of dentures.
What?
Did you have to hold one of the
Yeah,
old
so there
guys'
was a
dentures?
90-year-old man making a skydive. We were on the news and all kinds of shit, and he was told to take his teeth out before getting in the plane. The problem is he can't talk when he ain't got his teeth. So they interviewed him, and right before he got in, and he forgot to take them out. And we're up in the plane, and he looks over his shoulder. He's like, "Guys, I'm sorry." And we're like, "What?" He's like, "I forgot my teeth." And we all start laughing. So the pilot gets in his glove box, no joke, to get out his manuals and logbooks, and he takes them out of the plastic bag it's in. He's like, "Here, put them in this." And then he's like, "I'm gonna need them to talk when we do the interview." And then they turn around and look at me, and "You got a pocket?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I had to put it in my pocket, and I had to I had to get out after them with enough time to be safe and get down to the ground at the same time, so when they interviewed him, he could fucking speak. But I had to run over with a bag of teeth to them
Dude, you are Danhausen.
on the. So
You are the skydiving.
I jumped with a
Danhausen.
bag of teeth in my pocket.
So, okay, what movies do you have?
Point Break.
Gypsy, what is it?
Gypsy Moths.
Gypsy Moss,
Here
Without a Paddle.
we
Did
go.
you say moss?
Moth?
Gypsy Moth.
Moth.
James Bond. Moonraker, The Spy Who Loved Me, Octopussy, A View to Kill, Living Daylights, License to Kill, Goldeneye, Tomorrow Never Dies and Die Another Day.
Alright, James Bond.
Without a Paddle is a movie about
Yeah.
it's a movie about. It's got Seth Green, Matthew Lillard, and they're searching for DB Cooper's lost treasure. Like, so I think they jump, if I'm not wrong. Don't they jump?
I can't remember.
I thought they did, and they got like stuck in a tree and shit, and found those street women.
Yeah,
like it was something
I
fucked
can't
up.
remember.
But anyway, I think they jump in that movie. I can't remember any others. So
But there's not a lot. Megadeth, High Speed Dirt. Give that a listen. And then I will tell you what quotes we use constantly, because that's where he got most of the lyrics, was just skydiving lingo.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
And 90% of the lyrics is just skydiving lingo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Nice.
He loved to skydive. That was his fucking hobby. Yeah. So Megadeth, High Speed Dirt. It's the only song written specifically for and about skydiving.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, we got a follow up then. We got follow up, and Levi's got homework. Well, so do I, because I gotta refresh myself on some of those. So
I'm gonna rewatch Honeymoon in Vegas with Alex, because I told her about it and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, we have to watch
we
it.
have, especially after you've watched Nick Cage
Yeah.
and Spider Noir.
The others, I don't think I really need to rewatch, because Point Break is like, that's in my head forever.
Point Break. I probably don't need to rewatch. I might rewatch Without a Paddle just.
The old one,
'Cause I
yes.
enjoy it.
The new one, I'd have to do a refresher because I can't remember.
I never
people's
watched
names.
the new one. I only watched the old one.
The new one's with wingsuits, a lot of wingsuits, and the guys who were a part of it, the team who did it, it was a mix of actors and actual athletes. It wasn't just like stunt performers. So there was a lot of good that came from that movie for the sport, but then there was a lot of weird shit too. But that's a whole nother fucking thing. First Point Break, all you really need.
Okay. Yeah, because there is an updated version.
Yeah.
So original Point Break.
Original Point
Patrick Swayze's brother had over 500 jumps when they started doing that, and Patrick Swayze was also a accomplished skydiver.
Yeah.
So it was like
And
in their blood.
Keanu Reeves is in that movie too.
Only because Matthew Broderick said no.
Yeah. Yeah. And Matthew Broderick would not have done
And
that.
Willem Dafoe failed the audition. Charlie Sheen failed the audition. There was another one, Robert Downey Jr. They went with Keanu Reeves because they're like, he's the only one we could believe to be an undercover surfer. None of the other guys fit the vibe, and that's why they picked him, because they didn't want him to act like he was in Bill and Ted, but they picked him because they knew he could nail a part of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, okay, well, that was good. That was fun. So look forward to second part of this, and then we'll get out of here. So I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And this has been Pints and Pages. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that fun shit too.